Hey guys, Miles and Ramos, and this Sunday, September 24th, the Miami Dolphins are heading back home to Hard Rock Stadium to face the Denver Broncos. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. It will be broadcasted on CBS. And man, oh man, does it feel good to finally, one, be able to go to a Dolphins game, two, just see the Dolphins in person. It's been too long, too long. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. Some downsides. Some guys who are going to be not on the field. We'll go over that in a sec. But really quick, let's go over the match predictor by ESPN. Denver is favored by 29.7%. Dolphins at 70.1% chance. According to Caesars, the gambling odds are minus 6.5 in spread for the Miami Dolphins, minus 292 in the money line, plus 235 for the Denver Broncos, and then over/under set at 48 points. All right, guys. Let's get into some injuries. So right now we have Justin Simmons, safety, confirmed out. Same for Frank Clark, linebacker. And then Mike Purcell, defensive tackle, is questionable. Greg Dulcich, tight end, is on injured reserve. Same for Caden Stems, safety. Alex Plowski, offensive tackle. PJ Locke, safety. Kawan Williams, cornerback. And then other guys who are out are Brandon Browning, linebacker. And then back to injured reserve, we have Jalen Virgil, wide receiver, Jonas Griffith, wide receiver, linebacker, and then Tim Patrick, wide receiver on IR. And then for the Miami Dolphins, we have Savon Ahmed, running back, listed as questionable, doubtful with a groin injury. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, questionable for concussion. I don't think he plays, sadly, and that was kind of news I was alluding to. But then we also have Teron Armstead, offensive tackle, questionable for leg and back injury. Same thing for Jalen Phillips, linebacker. He is questionable for back injury. Tyler Kroft, tight end, questionable. Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle, questionable. Julian Hill, tight end, questionable. Elijah Campbell, safety, questionable. Everyone else that I didn't list off that were already on their injury report were there from the beginning of the season. So not that I'm ignoring them, it's just no updates on them so far, so no need to bring them back up. Now, this Denver Broncos team, guys, they're 0-2. Now let's not play no games, right? They've lost by a total of 4 points in their last. They've lost by a total of 3 points in their last 2 games. Lost by 1 point against the Las Vegas Raiders, 17-16. And lost 35-33 against the Washington Commanders. First and foremost, they had the lead early in that game. It was a pretty big lead. They gave it up. They came back, and by the skin of the teeth, they couldn't get a 2-point conversion. Controversial because it looked like, to me, PI, but it's unfortunate for them. Right now, they're in the bottom of the division. They're 0-2, same for the Los Angeles Chargers. And then above them are Kansas City Chiefs and Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders have the upper hand on the Chiefs currently because they've won against a divisional opponent. And then as it goes for the Miami Dolphins are 2-0, both games on the road. They lead their division, and following them is the New York Jets over the Buffalo Bills. Both are 1-1. New England's 0-2. New England and the Jets play this week, so I'm expecting, according to my picks, I picked the New England Patriots, but that would mean that Buffalo would shoot right back up to number 2, should that be the case, because they have a game against Commanders, which I'm expecting them to possibly win that. But enough of that. Let's talk about this game and this game only. Guys, Dolphins have a chance to go 3-0. Tyreek Hill has a good chance to pop off with Justin Simmons out. They do have a great cornerback in Patrick Surtain Jr., who is the son, literally the junior of Dolphins legend Patrick Surtain. So that's pretty cool. A little homecoming for him. Let's hope Tua doesn't gift him a little INT for his homecoming. But should that be the case, this Denver's defense is serious. It sucks for them that they don't have 2 key contributors in Justin Simmons and Frank Clark. But Dolphins are also possibly going to be without guys. A lot of guys listed as questionable, not too many guys listed as confirmed out from within the last 2 weeks. So that's good news. But do we expect Teron Armstead to play? Possibly not. I don't expect him to play until we possibly get a loss, which we'll run through the schedule real quick and see if there's any real possibility of losing anytime soon. Like, I'd probably say at the Bills as possibly a game that the Dolphins might lose. Aside from that, at the Eagles in October 22nd, I don't expect them to be out that long, but those are the timeline for possibly to get him to return. The Dolphins can keep winning without him in. It just makes it also better that there's no forced need to have him back, because you want to have him come January, come February. Let's hope that the Dolphins make it to there. Same thing goes for Jalen Waddle. If he's not feeling good, if he still kind of has concussion-like symptoms, we already dealt with a lot of that last year. Let's not make a repeat of that. So, thankfully, it wasn't a crazy concussion like we saw in the last primetime game that we had one. But it's definitely caused some concern, especially as me being a fan. Is just I don't want to see guys go out there, especially with what we've seen so far. That being said, let's talk about how the Miami Dolphins can win this football game. They got to run the ball. And I know I said it last week. I'm probably going to say it a lot throughout the season. I'm probably going to say it almost each and every game. But the Dolphins need to run the ball. That's the literally driving factor of this passing attack. Dolphins have a lot of motion on run and pass plays. And then on top of that, they do a lot of play action. So what does play action stem off of? Running the ball. So what do? You run the ball, and it becomes a little bit more of a sucks the defense in on the play actions, throw it over the heads. And that's what the Dolphins really want to do. They want to attack a lot of team secondaries, especially one that has one of their best Pro Bowl safeties out. I'm pretty sure this is going to be part of the game plan. Run the ball well enough so then play action becomes believable, and that will be huge for the passing game. Not only that, but obviously the running attack. If we can have Raheem Mostert go off for another 100 yards, that would be huge for the Miami Dolphins against this Denver Broncos team. But they have ability to score points. We saw that last week, so the defense is really going to have to put a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson. He's a guy who feels comfortable when pressure is thrown at him, so it's not too much to say that we need to. It's just more so get the pressure and close out on those sacks, because the second he starts extending plays, that's when Russell Wilson's at his best, and that's what you want to avoid when facing this Denver Broncos team. Their running game, I wouldn't say it's non-existent, but it's slacking off due to the necessity of coming back in the last game, and then on top of that, just the Vegas game was just not their best game. In terms of the Dolphins, Tua is leading the league in terms of passing yards. He's averaging an interception per game. I hope that can change. I hope he doesn't throw one this week. I mentioned earlier that he might gift Patrick Surtain Jr. one. Let's hope that's not the case, but if it happens, congrats to him. But I'm hoping Tyreek Hill can pop off for another 100-yard type of game, probably 200-yard. That would be super cool to see in person. But let's see what the game needs. Currently, the game time weather expected is to be a little overcast at 85 degrees. So I think it's just going to be a beautiful football Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium. The place is going to be rocking. The fans are just juiced up, man. This is probably one of the more hyped years the Dolphins have ever had. I know last year was pretty amped up, but I think this year, everything's just heightened, especially from what we've seen so far through the first 2 weeks. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. They got to do it each and every week, come out and perform, and just keep the thing rolling. In terms of special teams, Jason Sanders, don't get your field goal blocked. I'm pretty sure every team that faces the Dolphins now is going to try to do that running slide into the field goal block type of thing that the Patriots did last week. If they do, we've seen it. It's not like you know how to combat it, but you definitely want to be mindful of it and not let it ruin the day kicking. Aside from that, you don't want to have anything like that cost you the game. So let's hope it doesn't boil down to that. But run the ball, put a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson, bring him down, do not let him extend plays. And then on top of that, let's go perfect on the field goals. Huh? Let's go whatever it is. 3 for 3 on field goals, 2 for 2 on extra points, 3 for 3 on extra points, 2 for 2 on field goals. However this game plays out, I hope Jason Sanders does not afford another miss, another block. I know the block is not entirely on his fault, but it's him kicking the ball. Regardless, Dolphins, I expect them to win and improve to 3-0. It's a tough break for this Denver Broncos team. Last but not least, Tua is undefeated against former Super Bowl winning coaches. And what I mean by that is whenever he's faced any coach has won a Super Bowl in the past, whoever it may be, he's undefeated against them, 9-0 currently. Bringing up the streak is always kind of like a knock on wood situation that you second you start addressing it, the second it becomes heightened and possibly blown out of proportion and ends up coming to an end. But yeah, it would be cool to see him extend that to double digits, make it 10 wins against former Super Bowl winning coaches. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And guess what? Fins up. Peace.